right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Sergio Pettis. Sergio, how we doing, man?
Doing well, boss. Just got back from Tokyo, so definitely a little jet lagged and all, but I'm managing to make it work. Been up since like 3:30 a.m. this morning, so pretty wild.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, man. And talk to us a little bit more about your last performance and Tokyo a little bit more, man.
Yeah, I mean, my last performance, definitely some things I got to work on. I think I went out there and had some fun overall. I got to show some cool moves, showcase my skill set a little bit, but when it came to the wrestling department, Horiguchi, he got me in some good positions, held me down, and just put me in some situations that felt uncomfortable, especially in a ring. I'm used to having a cage on my back and crawling up the cage and stuff, and things were a little different this time around. And being aware of the stomps and the soccer kicks made me hold on a little bit tighter. So other than that, man, I had some fun. Tokyo was a blast. Amazing people, amazing crowd. The food was amazing. It's wild. Once the card started at 2 p.m., every single seat was filled from 2 p.m. all the way until 8:30 to when I fought. So,
Wow.
Yeah, big fight fans out there, man. It was a unique experience.
Yeah, no, that's definitely incredible, man. And talk to us a little bit more about Tokyo, man. What did you kind of do there? Did you happen to explore a little bit?
Yeah, I actually spent about 6 days there after my fight. So I got to chill out, see the scenery, enjoy the vibe, the people. It was so cool to see how their culture is. They have such an amazing culture there. Very nice, friendly people. The city itself is clean. There's no trash on the streets. It was almost like an anime, man. Like the way the buildings looked, the way they had everything popping off. It was definitely an experience that everybody has to see at least once in their lifetime.
Yeah, no, that's definitely pretty sick, man. And talk to us a little bit more about this video, man, about Horiguchi and Mike Brown when you were drinking and stuff. Can you talk us a little bit more about that video?
I've been getting a lot of mixed reviews about that. I've been drank for about 8 weeks, 9 weeks before I started that fight camp. So I ended up drinking the night after I fought, and yeah, some emotions came out, some frustrations, and the blacked out version of myself let it out. I didn't mean any harm by it. At the time, I was obviously frustrated and stuff. The day after I woke up, saw the video, I'm like, oh my God, I got to delete that, man. It was a little embarrassing, and I'm sure Mike Brown and Horiguchi dislike me because of it, but hey, I'm only human, man. I make mistakes, and I regret what I said, and definitely apologize to those guys. But at the same time, I'm over that wrestling shit.
Fair enough. And what were you drinking on, man?
Man, I was drinking everything that night. I was Ren Hiramoto. He's a star over there in Japan. So we're drinking some Japanese tequila, some sake, some lemon sour, I think they're calling it, some drinks like that. And yeah, the shots were just happening nonstop. I'm surprised they made it throughout the whole night, honestly.
Fair enough. And speaking a little bit more about partying, man, you were also on the Mike Tyson hot boxing podcast. Talk us a little bit more about that one, man, and what was your experience like with that show?
Man, what a crazy experience. I smoke weed here and there. I mean, I was consistently around that time smoking weed. I think I was like 26 when I jumped on the podcast. But that weed that Mike Tyson had was a whole different type of weed. Like uncomfortably high. A couple times if you look at the interview, I'm looking away, like thinking like maybe I should just step out of this interview right now because I'm tripping out. And Mike Tyson's such a you could feel his energy, man. Like he's a almost intimidating type of dude. He doesn't even mean to be that way, but like the way he talks, the way he, just is, it's fucking Mike Tyson. So I was definitely tripping out. I kept thinking about the Hangover scene where he's just like, and that was, man. It was a cool experience though. I learned a lot after that. I went on a 6-fight win streak after that podcast, actually. So yeah, man. I think it was a good moment for me.
Yeah, no, that's definitely awesome. And is there any cool behind the scenes stuff that goes on with that show that maybe a fan might not know about?
When we got there, Anthony was like, "Hey, let's smoke one right away." So we smoked one right away, and then we ended up smoking some more during the podcast. And I was just like, I totally wish we didn't smoke the first one because I was very uncomfortably high. But nah, man, it was cool. It was cool to see like Mike Tyson, like how he operates. We smoked a lot of weed, and after that interview, he ended up having like a business meeting right after that interview. And I'm like, man, this guy's a soldier. This guy's a different type of individual.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems like it, man. And when we were first setting up this interview, man, I mentioned I do a little bit of Taekwondo. Talk to us a little bit more about some of your favorite Taekwondo memories, man.
Man, honestly, Taekwondo paved the way for me. I grew up doing Taekwondo pretty much when I came out the womb. I was 5 years old. I was in a Taekwondo uniform doing forms, competing in tournaments since I was 6 years old. I won my world championship point sparring at 13 years old, and after that time, I started like going over to mixed martial arts, kickboxing, and just different types of styles. But throughout that, I still was teaching. I was teaching kids, and just kind of giving back, and it's done so much for me as a human and as a martial artist. It made me really have that martial art aspect to the sport. Because MMA, you got the fighters and you got martial artists, and yeah, I think I'm more of a martial artist because of Taekwondo. It taught me respect, discipline, self-esteem, just being able to perform in front of a lot of people too. We were performing, doing forms and sparring in front of crowds, and it played out for the future.
Yeah, no, that's definitely incredible, man. And speaking a little bit more about Taekwondo, there's a video out there of you and Anthony. You have like a Monster Energy bottle on your head, and then he like 360 rounds kicks you in the nuts, man. Talk us a little bit more about that video.
You know what? It was actually pre-planned. I knew it was coming.
Oh, okay.
I had a cup on. Thank God I had a cup on. But,
okay.
Yeah, so I knew it was coming. We actually had like two or three takes before that, so I took about 3 kicks to the cup. And it was funny, Ant's a prankster. He would have done that to me if I've not known, regardless. But yeah, me and Anthony growing up, he was the prankster of the family. Always playing jokes on people, and mostly it was me being the younger brother. I'd be getting all the pranks done on me.
No, that's definitely awesome, man. And yeah, obviously, with you just competing not too long ago, you compete in a bunch of different leagues now with like Rise and Bellator and UFC. I mean, what's maybe your favorite one that you've competed in, and which one has maybe treated you the best?
I think they all played a good role in my life. The UFC was a great experience. I was 20 years old when I got in. I got out at 26 years old. Throughout that whole time, man, the UFC was very professional. Very, they're great people over there. They know what they're doing. They're the pinnacle of the sport. Bellator, the first fight, I was a little different. I was kind of like so used to how things were ran at the UFC that the first fight in Bellator almost felt like the Wild Wild West. To be honest, I had to figure things out myself. It wasn't as organized for the first fight, but then my second, third, fourth, fifth fight, it was just like the UFC, man. They really stepped it up, and they got on the behind the scenes aspect a lot better. And I'm very, very happy with Bellator. It's changed my life around. Obviously becoming the champion, and then the pay raise all played out a lot. But I would say my favorite experience would be my last fight. Even though I lost the fight, man, the way that Arisen really has the show set up, it's beautiful, man. It's so unique. They do like the intros before the fights. They bring out all the fighters. They got these big old fireworks blowing off, and man, it was a dream of mine to go out to fight in Japan. So yeah, I think one of my favorites would be my last fight, man, honestly.
Yeah, no, definitely. And have you maybe thought about what's maybe next for you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of already know what's next for me. I got something set up. I can't say any names or dates yet, but I will be fighting within like the next 4 or 5 months again. And yeah, you guys will be hearing about that very soon. So yeah, I pretty much know about what's next for me, but I don't know, man. I really enjoying this lifestyle, being a prize fighter, being able to bounce around organizations, having options, and fighting the best of the best, and experiencing the world. I've only fought in Canada, Mexico, and United States. So it's my first time flying overseas and flying over to Tokyo, Japan, the heart of martial arts, and, going out there and fighting, where I grew up watching Pride, man. So fighting in the ring, using soccer kicks and stomps, it was like, damn, I'm finally in this. I'm finally here now, and it was a beautiful experience.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems like it, man. And when it comes to just like money and stuff, man, like with your contracts and stuff, it seems like, Anthony, your brother, he definitely had like a pretty awesome contract with like the PFL. Like, talk us a little bit more about like, how you guys, like you and Anthony kind of, manage your money, and like, how you guys plan to kind of set up for your future.
Yeah, man. Actually, I for a bit was kind of done with my money. I was just young. I was getting paid decent, at 20 years old. So I was kind of, living a different lifestyle. I'd be out there partying, paying for everybody's drinks, paying for everybody's meals. Just I grew up poor, so like when I got it, I was like, dang, I felt like almost like the man. But then you get to the point where you're like, I can't keep doing that. I got to make smart decisions and investments. And actually, I just bought one of my first investments after this last fight. So yeah, I think this move that I just made will set me up for my future, and really be able to leave fighting and kind of have the same lifestyle that I'm currently living.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And on that Instagram live when I was first talking to you, you had some pretty sick sunglasses on, man. What were they? Do you remember?
I think they were Gucci's. Yeah, I think they were
nice.
Glasses, yeah, little designer frames. Someone made them out here in Milwaukee, so yeah, I just repping Milwaukee.
There you go. There you go. What's on like a night out, you're trying to show off. What's maybe some of your go-to things to kind of wear?
When I was younger, I wasn't really into like wearing flashy things or anything like that. But as I got older, I got more of a taste for the more expensive things and just having quality stuff. Like stuff that lasts. So I like wearing jewelry, necklaces, watches. I'm a big fan of jewelry. But nowadays, I do like some designer clothing. I'm not gonna lie. Like I enjoy wearing some nice things, feeling good, feeling comfy, but feeling cool at the same time. So it depends on the night, depends on what I got going on. But I'm pretty basic as well. I like black. I sweat a lot as an individual, so I think I wear black to hide my sweat and stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And yeah, man, but getting back into Taekwondo, man. I mean, what do you think about point fighting, man? Do you think that maybe helped maybe your game a little bit in MMA?
For sure, I think it helped my game, but also kind of is like a flaw as well because a lot of people don't like to see the point fighting side of fights, so they want to see violence and blood and all that stuff. But I think the point fighting actually is saving me in my career. And not only that, saving my brain. I'm very aware of, the consequences of going in there and having wars. I've been fairly lucky when it comes to fighting. I've never got cut in a fight ever in my life, never had stitches. I've been TKO'd one time. So, I haven't taken too much damage. I'm really, when it's all said and done, I want to have a healthy brain and be able to, live a normal life. I see a lot of people that are taking a lot of punches, and you could tell, that there's a difference. There's a little something off from that. So, wanted to make sure I'm never like that.
Yeah, yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I definitely think that makes sense. And yeah, when it comes to like your fight gear and stuff, like your fight shorts, your fight gloves, I mean, do you happen to keep all that stuff? What do you do with it?
Yeah, I'll keep it. I'd say memorabilia. Actually, this last fight, they took my gloves right after the fight, so I didn't get to keep it. They
Wow.
take it, but my fight shorts, I kept that, and yeah, I keep all my stuff, man. Just memories. When it's all said and done, I definitely want to look back at the stuff I was rocking and wearing, and just kind of have memories from those fight camps and those fights in general.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And what about your Bellator belts? What do you do with them?
I got one in my living room. I got one in
Nice.
my basement in my workout room, and they actually didn't give me my third Bellator belt. So like I actually deserve one more that they took away from me after the Horiguchi knockout. I hit him with that spinning back fist, and they took the belt from me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like you guys owe me a belt, pretty much. Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
mean, but it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense, man. And yeah, man, when it just comes to like competing and stuff too, another interesting matchup I thought you had was against Alex Caceres. I mean, what was it like to kind of prepare for him in the gym and stuff?
Um, I was 20 years old at that time, so I just fought about like I think 2 months before that. I went from camp to camp. I fought November 16th, and then I fought him January. I don't remember the date exactly, but it was interesting. He's a big dude, 6'1". First time I fought a super tall guy that I was pretty much winning that whole fight. To be honest, I won the fight, the first, second round, and then last third round I went for a move that I wasn't too familiar with. I went for a leg lock. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, and ended up putting myself in a bad position and got submitted. So it was a humbling moment. It was my first time making $50,000 bonus. So I was like not too upset about it, but at the same time I was like, yeah, man, this is I don't like to lose losing
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah, no, I definitely hear you there. And yeah, man, dude, you also got some pretty sick tattoos. What's maybe some of your favorite tattoos you got on you?
man, I have so many now that I don't even know. My favorite one, I think, probably I would say the one on my chest just because me and Anthony have the same tattoo and we got it done the same day as for our mom. And my mom's a big part of the reason that all this has happened. She got us into martial arts. She got us into Taekwondo at a young age just because she needed a babysitter. And at her college, they offered Taekwondo classes and she didn't want to babysit anybody to babysit her kids. So we'd go and do Taekwondo while she was, going to college and stuff. And yeah, I mean, she's just been through so much as a parent. My dad was murdered when I was 10 years old. And my mom's gone through a lot with my dad. My dad wasn't the greatest individual. He had problems with drugs, and he was a little bit of a violent man towards her too. So, yeah, man, she's definitely a big part of the reason this has all happened. And without my mom, I don't know where any of us would be. Me and my brothers, I don't know who we'd be like or what we turn out to be. So, yeah, my mom's a big part of all this.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And mentioning your father and stuff. I mean, with that adversity you had in your life, I mean, how do you think that maybe shaped you to kind of be the fighter you are today?
We used his death as motivation. It was a tough time for our family. For 6 months, 8 months, things were different. My mom could barely go to work. I missed a whole school year, pretty much. Same with Anthony and my other brother Ray. My brother Ray actually dropped out of college at that time to help support my mom. Actually like go to work and like pay some bills and stuff. So yeah, life got a little messy at the time, but I think it was kind of the motivation we needed to really live life to the fullest. Once you experience death in the family, you're like, man, life is short. And the way that he went out was, terrible. He got stabbed to death, and it was a block away from our house. So it was an eye opener, man. It was a scary eye opener. And where we're from in Milwaukee, not a lot of people know about it, but it's a very dangerous city. There's a lot of stuff that goes on here, a lot of gun violence. Most of my family members are, have gone, due to violence. So yeah, it was, a big eye opener for us, man. I think it changed the dynamic of where we're going. And my brother Anthony used it to drive him to become, the champ and be, the man. And I followed in his footsteps. And my brother Ray really picked up all the slack. He was the oldest brother that it was like almost like a father figure for me and Anthony. So yeah, man, crazy.
Yeah, no, definitely, crazy stuff. And yeah, with all the adversity and everything you've kind of had in your career, what do you think is maybe the best advice you might have gotten so far in your MMA journey?
Um, I've gotten so much advice from so many people, to be honest, that I can't pinpoint one exactly. But I think some of the best things that I've taken away from this fight career and this, the advice from others is just being present, not living too far ahead. When you got a fight coming up, you're so stuck on a certain date that you kind of just are only focused on that date instead of the day by days, and I think that's the most important part about life is being present. A lot of people live in the past and get stuck on their mistakes and their flaws. And this sport is a crazy sport. We only get one night to get it right. And if we don't get it right, we got to sit back and think about it for the next 3 or 4 months. So, yeah, man, just being present, be present in the moment, enjoy life, and win or lose, learn.
Oh yeah. No, you definitely have to learn, and I definitely think that's a solid message. And everyone's asking, man. I mean, do you think you want to come back to the UFC? And if so, is there maybe a couple matchups you might have in your mind you think you could maybe do well against?
You know what? I've came to peace with that idea. Like if I do get back to the UFC, that'd be awesome. That'd be a great thing. The UFC has gotten so big since I've left. It's got very mainstream, and it'd probably be more towards like a fame for me. I'd probably have to take a pay cut and all that. So I'm not sure how I'd feel about that at the time. And I'm not doing this only for money, but money is a very important thing that you need as a tool to, escape this fight game. I can't do this for the rest of my life. I'm 30 years old, and yeah. So I mean, that idea would be dope, but at the same time, I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now, man. I'm enjoying bouncing around these organizations. I feel like I was the first young fighter to really do that. Get out of the UFC and go to Bellator, become champion, fight at Risen. I could box if I want to. I've got a lot of options. So in the UFC, I can't do that. I'd be stuck under the UFC banner. So we'll see how things go out, man. I'm pretty peaceful with what I've done in my career at the moment. I fought some of the top guys in the game, and if I get a chance to do it again, yeah, for sure, I'd love to do it. And I'd probably go back to. I wouldn't go to the flyweight division, man. I can't do that anymore. I'll be a 35er now, so definitely some matchups there that I would be interested in, man. There's some great athletes in the UFC.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And speaking about the flyweights, I mean, you were kind of in the UFC around like when that flyweight purge was going on. I mean, what do you kind of think about that?
It did change things a bit. At the time when that happened, I was actually number 2 in the division. I just beat Joseph Benavidez. And then I fought Husier Formiga. And right before I fought Husier Formiga, 2 days before, I get a message like, we're thinking about cutting the flyweight division. And I think it messed up my head mentally going in that fight. I'm like, why does this fight even matter then? Like, if I'm going to win this fight or lose this fight, like, it doesn't even matter if the whole flyweight division's getting gone. So I moved up to 35, like 6 weeks later, and fought Rob Font. I got jabbed to death in front of everybody in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was piecing me up. But the flyweight division ended up staying. It's still here. So I think it was like a lesson for me. Like, don't get too far ahead of yourself. Like people say stuff all the time, but the division is still here and it's healthy. I think it's pretty good at where it's at right now. The champ's really good. There's some interesting matchups happening in the flyweight division. They don't get as much love and respect as I think they deserve, but it's always been that way since the beginning of times, man. So it's a interesting division.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And have you thought about too, maybe when you're all said and done fighting, maybe trying to help out Anthony with his fight promotion too?
Yeah, man. Actually, we've been talking about it. He's been, trying to get me on board with him, and trying to help me jump on the team, and definitely interested. When it came to this fight career, that was my number one focus. That's why I've never done businesses outside of it. I just feel like it's hard to juggle all that stuff, and I'm a very one track minded person. If I have some other stuff going on, it throws off my fighting. So yeah, within these next couple years, I think I got another like 3 to 4 years of taking this fight game serious and making investments outside of fighting that can make me, step away comfortably. But I don't think I'll be able to truly leave the sport. I'll always be involved in the sport somehow, and maybe being in the fight promotion game would be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that'd be pretty smart and pretty sick. And another thing I'd like to ask, especially you being a Taekwondo practitioner, is like I mentioned, I've been doing Taekwondo since I was 5 years old. So I've been doing it for 19 years now, and I've been teaching for 6 years. So I just kind of love Taekwondo and just love martial arts in general. And with that being said, with all the different guys I have at my gym, what advice do you give to them? Keep on coming into the gym and to keep on getting better and better every day.
I think for anybody that's doing martial arts, they're doing the right steps. I think that it's such a empowering sport, and it's a life changing sport. You learn a lot of good things through martial arts. You learn how to be humble. You learn how to be confident. You learn how to get up in front of people and talk, and show respect yourself. That's all stuff that is going to turn you out to be a great individual and a great person. So I would say to those that are doing martial arts right now, keep on enjoying the journey. Take it day by day. Keep learning, and the stuff you're learning in the gym, apply it to your life, because they go hand in hand.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's a solid message. And Sergio, man, it's been awesome talking to you. I really, really appreciate it. And what's maybe your final message out there for the fans watching this video?
Final message to all the fans watching this video: you guys will see me very soon. Please tune into my next couple fights. I've had a lot of serious fights, and I was stressed out a lot. I feel free now, and I'm ready to go out there and show a striking clinic and show just martial arts in general. So make sure you guys tune in. Thank you guys.
Let's go. Let's go. Sergio, man, it's been awesome talking to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on, and especially too staying up for me as well too. I appreciate it. And yeah, man, we're looking forward to what's next for you, and hopefully we can do another one in the future.
Man, I appreciate you for having me on, boss. Have a good day.
Yeah, man, you as well. All right, man, take care.
Peace.
All right, man, peace.